Welcome to the 4G channel, episode 8. In previous episodes, we covered the rapture of the church, the Bema seat, the Great Tribulation, the glorious appearing, the millennial kingdom, and in our last episode, the Great White Throne. In today's episode, we're going to move on to the final episode in God's eschatological plan, his eschatology, the end time study, to eternity. In Revelation 21, we read this, verse 1, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and first earth had passed away. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God." So everything's over now except all we have left are the saints of God, those who have trusted in Jesus Christ from all time. And we read in verse 1, a new heaven and a new earth. By this time, the first earth and first heaven had passed away. They had been destroyed by fire. And now the Apostle John sees a new heaven and a new earth. And he recognizes it because it must have looked somewhat familiar. He knew it was a heaven. He knew it was earth. And I believe the reason for that is God is redeeming his creation. Whatever we've experienced in this earth, we will experience in the new earth, except without the ravages of sin. And he goes on to say, I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. Now, interestingly enough, we talk regularly about going to be with Jesus in heaven. As it turns out, at the end of all things, God is coming to live with us. We are going to dwell on this earth in perfect peace, perfect justice with God himself. And it says he will dwell with them and they will be his people, and God himself will be their God. And then it goes on to say in verse 4, he will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away. And he who was seated on the throne said, Behold, I am making all things new. So there's coming a time when there'll be no more sadness. What do we dread in this life the most? Most people would say, I think, death, pain, suffering. Those things are going to be a part of the past. They're going to be relics of history. And it says that death will be no more, nor mourning, nor crying, nor pain. All those things are gone. No one will die of AIDS or pain or heart attacks or disease or murder or whatever. That just won't happen in the new heaven and the new earth. And John says the former things have passed away. The former things are all the pain and suffering that has been brought upon mankind due to sin. Sin is not just a problem. It is the problem. And he goes on to say, Behold, I am making all things new. God is going to restore, redeem, and recover all that was taken away by sin. And we will get to enjoy life on earth as it should be. There are some things you think about, boy, I know how things should be. They just aren't that way. Well, the day will come when the things that should be will be. And then the last thing I have to say is, one of the things I think would be an encouragement to you would be to read Randy Alcorn's book on heaven. I tell you, when I read this book, he brings out scriptures in there that I know I had read 100 to 200 times in the past and never quite saw them in the light that he shows them. It is a wonderful read. It will change your perspective on the events ahead. So if you like my content, please like this video, share it. Consider subscribing to the channel. It helps get the word out. God bless you.